first food in each mentions the kebab, which is a creamy cheese made of 69% of fat. It is the oldest cheese of all Scotland, with many myths around it. The Crowdies are not a type of cream cheese, they are eaten with an oat cake. Crowdies are the traditional Scottish dessert first served to celebrate the autumn harvest. The deep-fried pizza is made in a few ways through Scotland, though some are pan-fried and others are more quickly browned in a proper deep fryer. One commonality is the use of batter to coat the slices or even whole pizzas before frying. Cranachan is a traditional dish which is served in tall dessert glasses. It is often consumed around harvest time and summer. Haggis is a Scottish delicacy and it's a wonderful stuff with a rich flavor. It involves sheep's sulphur, windpipe, lungs, heart and liver, and they are all boiled in the sheep's stomach.
Of course, we can't forget the alcoholic drinks. There are many Scottish whisky. Some are very different, but almost them are traditional. It's often referred to simply as Scot. There is also the Belhaven Ale, which is malty and hoppy. The people of Belhaven love the classic Scottish ale. They've been breeding it longer than any other of their beers they produce, delivering a sweet, smoothie and cream finish. Scottish ale has a stunning ruby color in the glass. On the centuries 1 and 2 after Christ, the Romans tried to dominate Scotland, but the Scots were too strong and they cannot be beaten by the Romans. To defend their territory against the Scots, the Romans built Hadrian's Wall. The construction began in 122 after Christ, during the rule of the Emperor Hadrian. It was the first of two fortifications built across the Great Britain. The second being the Antonine Wall, lesser known of the two because its physical remains are less evident today. William Wallace was a commander in the Scottish War of Independence. Wallace was very important for the war. He was a man who valued much the freedom of his people. He led the Scottish army to a glorious victory at the Stirling Bridge, which were very unfavorable for the Scottish army. But the Scots could win because Wallace divided the British army. While half had not yet crossed the river, he could face half that had already crossed.
Our army. To join it, you give homage.
I give homage to Scotland. And if this is your army, why does it go?
We didn't come here to fight for them.
Oh, the English are too many.
Sons of Scotland, I am William Wallace.
William Wallace is 7 feet tall.
Yes, I've heard. Kills men by the hundred. And if he were here, he'd consume the English with fireballs from his eyes and bolts of lightning from his arse. I am William Wallace. And I see a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny. You've come to fight as free men. And free men you are. What will you do with that freedom? Will you fight?
Right? Against that? No! We will run!
And we will live. Aye. Fight and you may die. Run and you'll live. At least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
The Battle of Falkirk was the last battle of William Wallace, where he fled, leaving his troops behind. In 1305, he was captured in Hobroyston, near Glasgow, and handed over to the King Edward I of England, who had him hanged, drawn, and quartered for high treason and crimes against English civilians.
The prisoner wishes to say a word.
Robert the Bruce became one of Scotland's greatest king, as well one of the most famous warriors of his generation, eventually leading Scotland during the Wars of Scottish Independence against the Kingdom of England. He claimed the Scottish throne as a fourth great-grandson of David I, and fought successfully during his reign to regain Scotland's place as an independent nation. Today in Scotland, Bruce is remembered as a national hero.